Alright, so this is a beautiful piece of music originally composed for piano. Because this is a copyrighted arrangement, I cannot legally put the full tab on it, but I will put a lot of it on, and then when I don't, I will talk through it. The sheet music and tab is available from Music Notes. You can find a link down below. Alright, so we're going to begin, which then goes to an F chord. And what I do, we have a pivot finger here, so the second finger can stay down. When I go to the F chord, then we have this, and then we have this. Now the first finger is going to act as a guide finger. I just keep it on the string, and you get this chord, which then resolves there. So the first two measures, and then measure 3 is the same as measure 1. And if you take a look at measure 4, we have this. So I'm doing a bar at 3, 2, 3, and 4. And then it goes to here. And then we get into the 12/8 section. Measure 5 sounds like this. I find that this rhythm compound meter can be difficult for some people. So what I do is I count 12/8. I'll go 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E. So in 12/8 time, you have 4 big beats. And so when playing this, it's 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E. All right, and then that middle finger is going to act as a pivot. I keep that finger down, and I just go to this. Same rhythm then. All right, measure 7. You're going to go here, so third finger and then first finger plus the open third. And then next measure, third finger just goes up to the 6th string. And then repeats. So measure 9 is the same as measure 5. All right, so then the rhythm is going to stay the same. And for the next measure, we're going to start with the first finger on the 1st fret, 6th string, and then your third finger is going to go to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. We're going to start with the 6th string and the 2nd string, followed by the 3rd string. Open 2nd string, back to the 3rd string. So here it is again slowly. Next measure, we're just going to go third finger on the 3rd fret, 5th string, hit that, plus the open 3rd string, followed by the open 1st string. And then first finger, back to the open, followed by open 3rd string. So again, that measure. And then we're going to go third finger on the 3rd fret, 6th string, plus the open 1st string. And then I use my pinky on that 3rd fret, 2nd string. So it's followed by open 3rd string. First finger on the 1st fret, 1st string. Open. Pinky on that 3rd fret, 2nd string. Open 3rd string. So again. All right, so those 3 again, very slowly. All right, then we get into another little section, same basic chord progression, but if you take a look at measure 13, we're going to go. So I'm keeping these 2 fingers down. And just like we did before, that middle finger is going to act as a pivot. And I'm just going to do a full bar, pinky. So that 13 and 14 go like this. Measure 15, third finger, first finger on that. Third finger is on the 5th string, 3rd fret, first finger's on that 1st fret, 1st string. All right, then the next measure very slowly. All right, then measure 17 is the same as measure 13. All right, then we're gonna go first finger to the 1st fret on the 6th string and plus the open 2nd string. And then I go 2 on the 2nd fret 3rd string, 3 on the 3rd fret 4th string. So it's gonna go. And then back and forth, 3rd string, 4th, 3rd string. So that little part's going to go. Then that repeats. So those two measures slowly. All right, and then we're going to go 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, 5th string, plus the open 3rd string. And then I go open 1st. First finger is going to be at the 1st fret on the 2nd string. So again, we've got this, and then back and forth, 1st and 2nd string. So again, and then the 1st finger goes to the 1st fret on the 1st string. And I'm hitting the 5th, 3rd, and 1st strings. Open 1st, and then this goes back there. So again, and then 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So that half goes. So that full measure. And then measure 20 is the same thing as measure 16. So this is something we've already done. Now we get into, we've kind of been building, and then we have a place to really kind of breathe because we have these little pauses. So if we take a look at measure 21, I have an A minor chord. I'm hitting the 5th and 2nd string. And then it comes in. And usually when I play this, I don't play it exactly in rhythm. I'll kind of let it ebb and flow a bit. So you might go. I found a YouTube video, I will post in the link below, where he really takes his time in this section. So I try and just let it breathe as much as I can. So 21 again. Now you're going to go to an F chord. Now this one is actually kind of tough to get to from here, which is the last note from the previous measure. So what I do is I just make sure I get the bar down first, and then I put them down when I need them. So I'm not putting the full chord down, but just when I need those notes. So if we start from just the latter part of the measure before, you can see I'm putting them down one at a time. So we've got this, and then we have this again, C chord. And all I'm doing is I'm assigning basically a finger to a string. So index is the 3rd string, middle finger is the 2nd, ring finger is the 1st. So I'm just going. Then we have this again. Then we have this. So I start with this down, and then I take it off. I take off that pinky, so I get that open string. And that repeats again. Now we have an A minor chord, except the pinky is on the D, which is 3rd fret. And you take off that pinky, and then open 3rd string. And you're gonna go there. So slowly it's. One more time. And then we have this again. Then we have this. So this is an F chord. We're just playing these three notes, so it's... And then... Now I think of this is a C chord, except I put my D down. So it's a C add 2 chord or a C9 chord. You're gonna go like this. So it's a little grace note. And then I hit the 4th and 3rd. And then this again. Then we have this. So this is a G chord, except normally G is played like that. I've got my pinky on the 3rd fret, 4th string. All right, so now we're going to go to an F chord. And it's going to go. So again. So what I'm doing is, with my right hand, is I'm going thumb, thumb, index, middle, ring, middle. So. All right, then from here. And then we have a C chord, and I put my pinky down on the 3rd fret, 1st string. And I take off that pinky. And then the pinky goes down the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So again, that little section. Keep the pinky down, middle finger goes to the 2nd fret. Take off the pinky. So slowly that measure is going to go. F chord. Then we have this little figure again. And we have this very similar to what we did just earlier. We start with that C chord with the pinky on the G. And we're going to go. So 2nd finger, 1st finger. So that measure slowly. Back to the F chord. And then this is that G chord we did earlier. And I take off, as I'm arpeggiating that chord, I take off the pinky and I move it to the 1st string. All right, A minor chord. Pinky. Once I put the pinky down, I keep it down until we hit this 1st fret on the 2nd string. So I'll play it, and then the pinky is going to go down. It's going to stay down for just a couple little notes. And then it comes off. And you just keep this pattern. Pinky goes down. Same thing. I just keep it down for a couple of the notes, and then I take it off. So slowly that measure is going to go. And then we have our F chord. Now there's a couple ways to do this. In the music I have that F ringing the full time. So if you're going to do that, and then pinky, and then I put the bar down to get that 1st fret on the 2nd string. So again here. That allows this note to ring. Lately I've been playing it like this. So I'll let go of it. So either way works. So this is measure 37. Repeats. 38. We've had this figure before. All right, so now we're going to work up to a climax, which starts right there. So if you take a look at measure 39. I do try and hold this pinky down to let it ring as much as possible. I have to take it off here to get the open string. So compare that where that G is ringing with it, I'll just take it off. I kind of like the way that G rings. So on the guitar, unfortunately, we don't have a sustain pedal like the piano does. And so when he's playing this live, he's probably, my guess is he's using sustain. That allows some of those notes to ring through. All right, so measure 40. Same thing in the upper voices as what we had in measure 39, just the bass changes. So it's a little awkward with the left hand, and you can't unfortunately let that top note ring as much. Measure 41. So 3 and 4. And I use my pinky here. Measure 42. So I find that a little bit more difficult, just because the pinky tends to be kind of a weaker finger. So measure 41 and 42 slowly. All right, measure 43. So it slowly is going to go. So this one I think is kind of an awkward passage for the right hand. If you just want to use these two fingers, I find it awkward. So in the video, I played it middle finger, index finger, which is actually very difficult to play fast. And if you notice in the video, my hand's kind of jumping up and down. So there's two solutions, two ways of doing it that I've been practicing it, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, but is using ring finger, middle finger, index. So ring finger, middle finger, index. So again, now another way which I find actually pretty easy to play it, and I probably will end up doing it this way, is by pulling off the first finger down to the open second string. So, like that. And then you can continue that pattern. So if you wanted to continue that pull-off pattern. All right, so I'll play that first line without the pull-off so you can see how it's written here. Measure 46. All right, and then it repeats. So this is all a repeat. It repeats until we get to measure 51, where we have this. So it's a half bar at 5, pinky is here. Then middle finger goes down, pinky, third string, back to the second string with just the middle finger. So slowly. So this is the climax of the piece for me. So I really try and bring this out when I'm playing it. So that measure one more time. All right, then we're going to go bar at 3, and you're going to go 3 and 4 right there. And then it switches to a G chord. So that measure slowly again. And then we're going to do something very similar to what we had in measure 51, except the right hand pattern will be just a little bit different. So the latter part of that measure is the same as the latter part of measure 51. So here it is again. All right, then this repeats. So that's the same as what we just did in measure 52. So that whole pattern repeats again. So chord changes. You just slow it down and then let it ring. So you got a little fermata there. So I'm going like this. Let it ring. All right, then it goes back to the beginning. So we've had this before, except you want to play it slower. And then this starts up again. So that all repeats. And then we get to this section. So we've done all of that. So it's another repeated section. And then it goes to this section right here. So that's a section that we just did. And then it goes to this. So that all repeats. And we end with this. The fermata like we just did. And then at the very end, measure 97, we get to this section. So I do try and play this slower, and then I will add little retardandos here and there. Because it's just kind of, it's bringing the piece slowly to an end. So measure 97. So I might go like this. A little retardando. Retardando. And so on. All right, so let's take a look at measure 98. Slowly, it's going to go. All right, and then measure 99 is similar to 97. Measure 100. There's a fermata over this note, so you let it ring a little bit. And then measure 101 is the same as measure 99. And then measure 102 is the same as measure 100. Except fermata there and fermata there.